You're on the air.
Hey everybody, it's Poppin' Politics. We're doing a special edition tonight, Friday night. We are counting down the woke moments of this week. There have been a lot. I mean, from Jill Biden's Christmas celebration at the White House, all the way to Hunter Biden's presser. We're talking about the Harvard president's comments, anti-Semitic comments, the Boston mayor's non-whites only Christmas remarks. I mean, it has been a jam-packed week of woke moments. And to counterset that, we have Alex Jones has returned to Twitter. So he was on Tucker Carlson this week. We're going to talk about that interview, all of this and more. I have the ladies with me. Get your popcorn, get your wine, get your hot cocoa, and join us for Pop and Politics next. Enemy territory here. Hello, hello, hello. It is it's actually Friday, and it's time for Pop and Politics. As I mentioned at the top of the show, this is a special edition of Pop and Politics. We are coming to you live, uh, virtually tonight. So, as I always say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on Facebook or YouTube. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. Subscribe to our social media so you always know when we post new content. You can check us out on our website at www.popandpoliticslive.com for up-to-date information. You guys will see within our little squares our names. Those are our Instagram handles, so you can find us all on Instagram and chat with us directly if you like, because we're on there pushing out based MAGA conservative Republican content. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Late night, huh?
I know. This
Yeah.
is Shelly's fault. It's Shelly's fault.
I like it.
This is my time.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, I don't have to worry about getting up tomorrow morning. This is great.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to get anybody on with us tonight because, again, we generally come on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. So I was wondering if anybody was going to be up and joining us. So I do see some of you guys are watching. Thank you so much. This is late night. We're generally edgy, so you can expect that from us tonight. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it, ladies. Lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. So we're gonna start right off with Hunter Biden's presser. Hunter Biden's press conference. Here, take a look. This is the first clip of tonight. Let's talk about this.
I'm here today to answer at a public hearing
You guys hear?
any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me.
Hunter Biden showed up in Washington, D.C., but not for his scheduled deposition with the House Oversight Committee investigating his father. Instead, he delivered a statement outside the Capitol to push back on the panel's narrative after it insisted on meeting in private before a public hearing.
I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies.
His refusal tees up a possible
Lies.
contempt vote by the GOP-led House. The committee subpoenaed Hunter Biden as part of an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. House Republicans believe Hunter Biden is a key witness as they probe whether the elder Biden abused his power during his time as vice president.
All right. So
I
we
can't.
all saw that. We all saw that this week. Just in case you haven't been, watching what's going on. Last month, House Oversight Chairman James Comer issued the subpoena Hunter Biden was supposed to show up. He did not. He goes on with this press conference. He came to DC, and he puts on this press conference whining about Republicans bringing him into the office, saying that he was brought in to I guess totally mess up his dad and try to derail the President Biden's upcoming presidency and candidacy. I want to get your thoughts on this, ladies. I'll start with you, Shelley. What did you think about this press conference he did?
I thought that he was basically saying, in your face. He showed up on the day of his subpoena when he was supposed to be testifying, giving a deposition. He said, F you. And you know why he said it? Because we have a weak Congress. Yep. That's why he showed up with the press on Capitol grounds. Anybody else, maybe a judge should have issued a bench warrant. But because the druggie from hell can say to our weak Congress, that's what he can say, that's what he's doing, it's going to be another 5-6 months probably before they even issue a warrant for his arrest. If they issue it at all, because we have a weak Congress. That's why.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this, Crystal. I mean, I disagree there. Yeah, we may have I definitely isn't. The Congress has not done what I would have wanted them to do, but they did vote to start the impeachment. When he didn't show, now they voted to start the impeachment. Doesn't that say they have more power now because they started the impeachment? He has to show. He has to show. This was serious.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. He knows that he doesn't have to. His dad is the boss. Dad's the boss. He's a big, old, crackhead baby. I mean, like, seriously, like, dude, if you feel like, and then what he mentioned in the thing is, oh, they showed naked me on the Congress floor. Do you remember that? Like when he said it? And I'm like, they showed naked pictures of you on the Congress floor because they were on your laptop, dude. Like, nobody was sneaking in your window, taking pictures of you with a crack pipe. You took pictures of you and it got leaked, and you're sloppy and you're messy. You just like Felicia on next Friday.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on this, Yana. I mean, the goal of this guy, and then to whine and complain about breaking the law. I mean, do you think there's a there?
It's the typical behavior of this family and of the Democrat Party in general. They don't think that rules apply to them, and it's like super typical. That's what they do. And also, they don't care. Someone like Hunter Biden, he doesn't care, to be honest. There's no integrity. That's why he didn't want that closed hearing. He didn't want to answer real questions. So he wants to rally people behind him and his family. And he knows, the loyal, those that are loyal to him, people who are not thinking, who are just all emotion, that they will follow, and they work in numbers. It's very like, let's get the masses rallied up, and some kind of show some kind of indignation there, and hoping that they will win that way.
Yeah, and we have a complicit media that is not holding his feet to the fire. I mean, they have lied about this all throughout the last 4 years or so. First, it was Biden saying, I never talk with my son or my brother about anyone else in the distant family about their business interests. We know that was a lie because he actually did. It's undocumented from about Hunter's business partner saying that they had him in meetings. Then he said, my son has not made money in terms of the thing about what we're talking about China.
Ever so slight changes.
Right. We know he made money, and that's been documented by the committee. Records show that his firm made $11 million from China. So we know that was a lie.
And the big guy got some of it too.
And it doesn't even matter, y'all. Like, y'all can say it till you're blue in the face. We can say it. He knows that the media is on his side. He knows that dad's the boss. And he knows that if you say anything about it, if anybody comes out about about it that they probably might end up in a lake somewhere because they are criminals. This is the crime family. They're dangerous.
They are criminals.
People.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
KJ,
they're dangerous people.
I do want the Republicans in Congress in general to do the right thing, do what they're supposed to do, what they would do for you and I, any of us. If we had a court date by even a district judge to show up, and how dare we not show, don't even show up, but we bring the press on the day that we're scheduled to show up. By the time we get back home, our asses are going to be hemmed up because we're going to have battering rams at our door. Maybe the FBI and some other officers are going to be taking us out in handcuffs for failure to appear. So I want them to do the right thing. I just don't think that they're going to go through with it.
I have more faith in them this time. I do. Okay. And maybe I'm being naive, but I do believe with this impeachment inquiry started with full Republicans, all Republicans voted to do it. I think now they have the teeth needed to get this guy and whomever else they need to subpoena back in, because before they did subpoena him, yes, he was supposed to appear, but it was not as strong as now. They are tying it. They have fully went ahead and said they've started the impeachment. It is tied to the impeachment, his testimony, and he must appear. So
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I do know that the Republicans know how to mess up a good damn thing.
Well, I don't even know if it's the Republicans as much as I think that the Republicans are always. I know Candace Owens says it so great. She said the Republicans are playing by the left's rules, and the left is playing with no rules. Like literally, like. Republicans need to understand that these people are dirty. They are grimy, and they're going to move the goalposts. And so Republicans, I really do believe that they're doing the right thing. I don't believe that they're bringing Hunter Biden just because they did 45 dirty. They 45 did not deserve what happened to him with the impeachments, and neither did his children deserve to be drugged up in Congress. But if anybody has a brain, see the difference in just couth of these kids. And I always said it from the first election, from 2020 election. An adult son is fair game. Your son is a crackhead. That is crazy.
Not only that, but he's a fraud. He's stolen money from the United States by defrauding them with taxes. His tax defraud. You know,
tax defraud, felony charges, the pornography, the kickbacks, or using his father's political office, all this stuff. That's at least 4, not to mention the drugs and everything else. So who knows? But I do know. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I want them to bring the charges. I know they have credible information, credible evidence, but I just know that Republicans know how to mess up a good thing when they have it right in their hand.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not.
Okay. I said it.
Another good thing about, the way this has kind of been trickling down is, I think it is kind of a good thing that it has taken so long, because now, with this election coming up, it's front and center. We're going to have all this going. They want to make frivolous charges against Trump and take him through court. Guess what? Hunter's going to be in court. The impeachment inquiry is going to be going on, and we're going to have all this drug out over this election. So it's going to be the battle of court cases.
Yeah, I don't see it getting to that. Like, I hope it doesn't. I really believe that we are better than all this. It's just messy. And the fact that we're allowing it as citizens and we haven't decided that, hey, we don't want this, it's just amazing to me. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to affect opinions of people, people who already support Biden and Biden family. It's not
no one supports Biden.
No, but those that they do. They do. Unfortunately, I like now I interact with people more because of my job currently, and unfortunately they do. It's crazy. There are supporters.
Yeah.
And they, the way that we watched when we were discussing The View and how they were saying, or who was it that said he's just defending his family, and so they'll just feel sorry for the family, and that Republicans are coming after them.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for one bit, but we will continue to follow this story and comment on it. Hopefully, the impeachment proceedings get moving, and we can get the American people can see all of the nastiness and fraud and things like this that have been going on. So, moving right along, we're still going to be with the Bidens, but we're talking about the Jill Biden's White House Christmas decoration.
Oh my God.
Yes. So First Lady Jill Biden shared Durant's Dance's playful interpretation of the Nutcracker Suite on X Thursday, which was widely panned for its Hunger Games and Clockwork Orange aesthetic. So if you guys remember, was it when Trump was in the White House, Melania and Trump, you did the White House decorations. I was blessed enough to go at that time to the White House and see it. Yeah, it was very nice, beautiful. Well, this is totally different. Got a lot of pushback. I want to get you guys' opinion. Take a look at it. First thought, I would go to you, Shelly. First thought.
As much as I love tap and I like dancing, choreographed dancing, but they look like cracked nuts. That's what they look like. They look like cracked nuts. They look like cracked nuts. Yes, they did. It was just weird. It was goofy. It wasn't so much ugly, or it was just gaudy. It was just goofy. All those decorations reminded me of Jill and how she dresses, like a clown.
Yes, I just sat there and I watched it, and I am not.
Yes, I've seen the Clockwork Orange, Chadwick, and it's a crazy movie. That's how that thing looks.
Yeah, it just like they are just. I feel so bad. They are white trash. I'm sorry, they really are. Like anybody would think that's because I don't have a problem with it. Doesn't look good. It did not look good. It didn't look well put together. They were like, oh, make sure you put the blacks in the front because we like blacks. It was just weird. It wasn't tasteful. It wasn't Christmassy. It was gaudy, like Shelly said. And it just kind of reminded me of what we have in the White House, which is not it doesn't look good. It's gaudy. It's kind of mirroring what's there already.
Yeah, what do you said?
It made me think of a circus. Like when I look at it, I see circus and clowns. They're like all of them were dressed as some sort of clown, and they were just clowning around. And that is what we have in the White House and in America right now. It's a circus, and I see it every day, like how crazy everything has gotten. And this is now considered, oh, let's show off, let's show to the world that this is who we are, because this is like a showcase of America, and this is what we are showing to the world. And when Melania did a classy display, everything was matching, everything was like, perfect Christmas decorations, and somehow they were like criticizing that. Like I remember they were like, how?
Well, someone said, Ryan, we have a super chatter.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for watching, Ryan. He says tap sounds didn't match up with
exactly.
I saw it, and I'm not a professional tap dancer. All right.
It did not. The sound and the music and the tempo were off, which is why it made it a little goofy.
Yeah, and
It was like cabaret. That's another. Yeah, it sounded like cabaret,
yeah,
like circus, like just really low
not
class.
Christmas. And it just kind of makes me think about like what we've been saying about the left, like that beauty is just gone. Like they are trying to tell you that purple hair and 5 nose rings in your face is beauty, or that a man that has on a bathing suit with a bulge and a mustache and lipstick is beauty. They are literally distorting and destroying
Exactly.
beauty
Transforming.
the fat Victoria's Secret models. Look how sexy she is. You know what? F you. Like seriously.
They want to destroy everything that's beautiful.
Everything is upside down. Everything.
You know what? I gotta say, I did not have that reaction. I didn't think it was, I love dance, I love tap dance. I have a theater background, so I love theater. I kind of got what they were doing, the Nutcracker. I thought the thing that kind of bothered me with it is it was just weird. Yes. And when I say that, it just was off.
What about the like slapping the butt dance?
Right, in the car.
That's part of the jazz movement. Yeah. They do that a lot in jazz dancing.
But the costumes look low budget. Yes. I didn't understand, like they had the pig face. That's not in the Nutcracker.
Yes.
And then if you know exactly. They didn't have like the Nutcracker was a woman. Like it was only one guy in the whole.
That was their ode to Squid Games with the mask on it. Like, that was their ode to the.
Why was it a woman? It's because they couldn't find a man to do it.
I don't know. It was only one man.
No. I looked it up because I looked up like when you in the ballet, the Nutcrackers. Of course, we know the Nutcracker. He's the prince. I get that.
Right.
But sometimes in professional choreographed musicals and plays, they will use smaller people for certain parts. So I think they were just using this woman just because of a dance. It was just a theatrical thing. It wasn't. I don't think it had.
But it looked like that's all they could.
They didn't have any men. It was one male in there with one guy. But the other person that was dressed up like a guy, that was a woman.
Which one was the guy?
They had down the black tail suit. That was a woman.
Okay. Which one was the actual guy?
Oh, the guy I think was another puppet master there. Yeah, that was a guy. And he had a nose ring. He had a big what do you call it? A minotaur ring through his nose. It just was. They looked weird.
I'm just imagining, what if this kind of performance happened in the Kremlin?
Oh yeah. Well,
they might be executed. They might be executed.
No, it would just, first of all, it wouldn't happen. But second of all, it's like it would have been like something out of like a bizarre world. Like it would be. And so, like, what kind of message you're sending? Like, this is the most powerful country in the world. Oh, let us do this in front of the world and dance like circus animals.
Yeah, it just wasn't. That wasn't the Nutcracker. That wasn't the Nutcracker music and tempo and style. That jazz thing didn't go with that whole thing.
Yeah, I like jazz. I do like that. But of the message, that's what we really need to be looking into. So, I did look into this group. It's a Manhattan-based dance company featured in the White House. This was them. Now, while the tap routine appeared apolitical, according to National Review, the dance troupe's website is anything but, promoting far left policies that are even out of step with the Biden administration. So the owner of this dance troupe has on here, and I quote, "I am a white tap dancer with Black cultural ancestors in a society that privileges white people and whiteness." Her name is Michelle Dorrance. She says this is the company's founder. She says, "Why anti-racism work is important to me." This is all on their dance,
and that's why they were chosen. That's why they were chosen for that.
Yeah, that's exactly throughout the website, they're pushing. They're pushing things like women of color against Black Lives Matter. They're also pushing from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
That's
The
why they
website
chose.
All
also
white
promotes
liberal stuff.
defund the police, abolish prisons.
That's why they chose that group. That's
and
why.
1619 Project.
That's why they chose that group. That's all.
Exactly, sweetie. Go to a Brooklyn school and donate all the money that you got paid to do that for. How about you do that? Do some real work.
No,
they're not going to do that.
No, this is what this is. I mean, this
White
is like
liberal.
lefter than Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, basically like the most Marxist you can get.
Yeah, it is.
All in one place. Marxist.
And I do want to acknowledge Justin. Justin,
thank
where
you, Justin.
He says, I was waiting for a rainbow Grinch to show up. My goodness. This family makes me appreciate mine. All my best to y'all from Streetsboro,
Good point,
Ohio.
Justin. Good point, Justin.
It's so true. A rainbow flag Grinch.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And this group is just, I mean, they were just, I mean, Marxist, leftist, group, and that's so now we know why they look the way they would.
I'm surprised. What's that guy Mulvaney?
Yeah,
was not there. Like I feel like he should have been jumping around there.
Yeah,
isn't he a performer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he is.
He dresses up like a woman.
They may still have him. The season is not over, but the crazy thing is, Christmas is supposed to be about. Christ, right? The birth of Jesus.
Beauty.
And this is what they use. It just was weird. It was very weird.
It's weird.
It's sad.
Very.
It's sad. And when I challenge you guys, who if you did not see Melania Trump's decorations in Christmas, definitely go back and check it out. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I like that comment. I like that comment.
Oh, he says, I'm surprised I didn't have Vladimir Zelensky dress up like he used to his stage days and do a performance with them.
Right.
Yeah.
He was here.
He would have fit right in.
He missed an opportunity. In fact, he was great. He was an awesome performer. I used to watch him. I used to like him. He messed up his career. He needs to go back.
He's still
performing.
He wasn't gonna make it to the bank in time. He had to leave on a jet. He wasn't gonna make it to the bank on time because he was cashing that fat U.S. check.
Yeah,
right.
But she's talking. Yana is talking about how he used to be in theater in movies.
Yeah.
He's a trained
actor. He was on stage. He was a comedian. He ran shows. He was really funny.
Host.
Yeah, he was a great host, and like his children wanted to be performers. And I'm sorry, I'm grieving the loss of a real artist that we used to have as Russians.
Keep the tears going for this Christmas display because it was a tragedy too.
And why are you grieving? He's doing his best act yet. He's acting like he's serious. He's acting like a president. He's acting like he cares about the people of his nation, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Russia, just take that thing, man.
Yeah. But we'll continue to follow this. I'm sure there'll be more things going on, such as this. Speaking of there was breaking news out today. You talk about the White House, and the Senate. Oh my God. We were talking about this before we came on air. I don't know if you guys have been following it, but our Maryland Senator Ben Cardin has a staffer that was caught filming gay sex on the Senate hearing room floor. This has been kind of all over the news. Leaked video footage, according to Breitbart, shows a congressional staffer having anal sex with an unknown man on a table in the Senate hearing room, where senators often sit to ask questions during hearings. So they're going to have to wipe that place down by Monday. Yes, indeed. Apparently, according again, like I said, news reports are saying the whole place stinks of shit due to this anal sex. In a photo taken in the Senate hearing room, the alleged congressional staffer can also be seen naked on all fours, looking back at the camera while on the table where senators listen to testimonies. There will be
Apparently
no
there's a
more
video.
eating
There's a
in
video
the hearing
too.
room. No more
Wow.
eating.
It's when I saw that, I was thinking, I said, please let this be, you know, from the Babylon Bee or April Fools or something, because it just can't be that. So we've gone from Hunter Biden's naked pictures on a laptop to crack nuts in the White House for this Christmas display. And now we got some real live nuts in the Senate House. I mean, not only is this perverted, but this is the real insurrection.
Ooh.
That's what this is. That's what this is. This is the real, I will repeat that. This is a real insurrection in the Senate. We got, I mean, it's just breaming all over the Senate and the Capitol Hill and White House. It's just oozing all of the drippings that we can think of everywhere. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. On a serious note, it's the Roman Empire collapsing.
Yeah.
And what happens after Dark Ages and then some kind of religious control. And that's what's going to happen. That's the only way.
But remember, Biden administration, the Democrats were supposed to bring back decency and order to the White House. You know, have us become more acceptable on the world stage. So this is their way of doing that. You know, having these weird Minotaur ring people dance for Christmas, and then
it's like an orgy
out in the Senate hall.
Yeah, it's opposite day, and I mean, because like they're supposed to be the classy ones, and Trump is supposed to be like, and we bought it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, with this administration, I have never seen the most drugs, the most sex,
crack in the White House.
Literally trying to sexualize children and
everything and anything.
Sex, and everything got to be about sex, everything about it, drugs. It's just trashy and ugly. And then you hear the people when he won, oh, it looks like Joe Biden's arms uniting the country. No, it was not Joe Biden's arms that you saw. It was a pipe. It was a crack pipe that you mistake for his arms. And these people are just
well, he got the crack pipe, and this staffer is laying pipe in the damn Senate hall. I mean,
he was
I'm
getting
telling
pipe.
you can't make the stuff up.
You gotta get.
Shelley E. wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
No, you have to use the correct terminology. This administration is very big on terminology. He was getting pipe. He was not giving it. Okay. Get it right. Get it right. You got to get the pronouns right. You got to get the anal information correct. He was getting pipe. He was not giving it. And speaking of that, as we talk about the correct way to give things and get things, it moves us on to Boston. So this Boston mayor sends a non-whites only Christmas party in Boston this week on Thursday. Here, take a look at this.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is defending her decision to host a holiday party for elected officials of color. This comes after she accidentally sent invitations to all members of city council via email. The invitation for electeds of color holiday party was supposed to be exclusively for the city's 6 council members of color, but was sent to the full 13-member panel. 15 minutes after the email was sent, Wu's aide, Denise Dos Santos, issued an apology, saying, quote, "I did send that to everyone by accident, and I apologize if my email may have offended or come across as so. Sorry for any confusion this may have caused."
All right, so, I mean, you were going to do it anyway. I mean, it's offensive whether they knew about it or not.
First of all, I don't believe for one moment that it was sent by accident. It was sent on purpose, and then they can come back and say it was by accident, so they can look like they were trying to, they appease them. It was on purpose, because how else were those people supposed to know not to come?
That's so true. It's so
because
true.
they didn't know it was going to be a party. They was
No, they did. No, this is
that
happening
wasn't
everywhere.
That was not by accident.
This is happening
That's
everywhere.
the cover they're using. That's the cover they're using. They meant to send it.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that is that her child's school is having like minority Christmas parties, and everybody is not invited. This
Right,
is
they
the
don't know,
norm.
but the non-minorities don't know, right?
No, she's a non-minority, and she
People
knows
know.
about the
People
minority
know, and
party.
you know what?
And what y'all gonna do about it, whiite people?
It's
What y'all gonna
infuriating.
do?
Like
They
the
doing it
double
right in your face.
standard. It's infuriating. I can't take it. It's like the white people, oh, we gotta be so careful. God forbid there's like if there's even a hint of any type of, oh, I can look at someone wrong and I can be accused of racism.
I
But
know.
If
this
I was a white
person
person,
says
if I was a white person,
like,
I would show up. I would show up.
No, I wouldn't. I
would show up on purpose just so I can make a fuss or whatever. They can try to put me out. I would do that. I would use, if you want to call it reverse racism.
and be like, I'm Rosa Parks. Like, you know, there has to be another Rosa Parks.
No, no, that hasn't worked, Yana. That hasn't worked, Shelly. If I was a white person, I would play I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, and I would have all my white friends and no blacks allowed. No others allowed. Since we doing it, I can do it, but anything you can do, I can do better. And I would have a white Christmas. I'm dreaming of a white, and it would be all my white friends, no blacks allowed.
Oh, wait a minute, Crystal.
People
don't want y'all to
Crystal,
nowadays.
Let's use yours, but guess what? White people come in blackface.
Exactly. Yes, do that.
Oh
honestly, I don't feel sorry for. Okay, I'm typically the type of person who does not like bullies at all. I will fight you if you are a bully. But you know what I don't like more is people who allow themselves to be bullied by the bullies. Like at some point, y'all have to start saying, like, we can't tell you enough that it's like messed up and they're literally trying to erase your grandchildren. We talked about the penance. You remember, KJ?
Right.
You're going to pay penance in the form of your grandchildren. And now they just doing it right in your face. And I say, go right ahead.
Yeah, let's put a challenge out.
I mean, the thing is that when they say America is a racist country, this is the example of a racist country. Like, that's what a racist country does, is that you focus on race so much that now you're literally officially segregating people. So don't be surprised then that it does turn racist, because there's going to be a backlash of this type of behavior.
Yeah, and the terminology that they use, she called it electeds of color holiday party. I mean, this is ridiculous. Christmas is supposed to be about parties of everybody coming together, you know, for the holidays, men, women, you know,
all cultures,
right? Even all religions, you come together and you have a good time, and you get together and you enjoy the end of the year. Why do we continue to have this separation? It's ridiculous.
Because nothing is sacred to the left. Nothing is just beautiful and you just can celebrate or honor it for its own sake. But I'm going to issue a challenge to our viewers, or in Boston at least. If you are white and you want to go to that party, please tell us, bring us so we can film you and go in blackface, and we will back you up. We'll back you up.
I cannot say it enough. Like, when is enough? I like, y'all are literally just taking it up the rear, and people are trying to erase you and call you all kinds of names. Like what was the thing RFK came out and said this week? That people are inherently racist. Like they're saying these things out loud, and you guys are just not mad enough. And
Yeah.
I'm telling
And the
you,
crazy thing, it's generally people like her, this mayor, Michelle Wu.
who's
She's married
Asian.
to a white man.
She's
She's
Asian.
married
A
to
lot
a
of them
white
are. A
man.
lot of these racist
Girl, you Asian.
people of color
There
are
ain't
married to white people.
there are no more people that are racist in the planet than Asians. Okay, China is a monolith. Okay, like you could go to Taiwan, you could go to any of them Asian countries, and they are straight down for their own. They come to the United States and build their own towns called Chinatowns. Like they don't play games, and you're gonna talk about white people being racist? Come on,
Yeah, it's a grift. It's a grift, and you know it. Kamala Harris, this woman, all these people, they push this idea of white people are the oppressors, black people are victims, black people are the oppressed. These white boys, these young boys are gonna wind up being racist. All these nasty things they say to kids, in these DEI courses, all this stuff, and they are actually married people of white. They've married white people, and they're doing it to work on people's emotions, to create racial animus. We're gonna talk about you guys know I'm not real crazy about Alex Jones, but he was talking about it on Tucker this week. We're gonna talk about it. They are doing this on purpose to create a collapse within America.
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, we can't fall for it, and that's why I don't think we should have our own black parties or white. I should say white people should push back and do it. We need to come together. That is the only thing that stops this racial segregation, the leftist racial grift is what I call it. We got to come together. We have to come together.
And another thing is this idea.
Be okay. Stop making it purposeful. Like if you have white friends and there's a party and you only have white people there, maybe your black friends decided not to come because y'all put raisins in the potato salad, then that's okay. You don't have to invite all your black friends. You don't have to invite all your, you do have to invite them, but they don't have to come. It's okay if there's no white.
You shouldn't be inviting.
You don't have to invite any. You invite who you want.
Like you invite people because you like those people as a person.
Stop making it weird. Stop making it weird.
Yeah, you don't choose friends or guests based on their skin color. Like that's racism, and the idea that Black people or whoever, like people of color, cannot be racist, that's a crazy idea. And people actually believe that. They believe that only white people can be racist.
No. This is called America. You invite who you want. You associate with who you want. If they happen to look like you or if they don't. That's what's called America. It doesn't mean that you're racist or not racist or whatever, but you darn sure are not going to Michelle Wu's party.
Yeah, no, but the thing about the difference that we have to acknowledge here is you guys are, and your examples are talking about personal private parties.
Exactly.
This is a governmental, government party.
Yeah.
You can't do that in a work environment.
Exactly.
Government.
Imagine if it was switched. Like all these people would have lost jobs. Like it would be a scandal, like on the international scale. If it was a white only party.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be white only, doesn't have to be black only. Just have a party.
Yeah,
who come, who doesn't want to come, don't come. Like we're making it so weird. And white people honestly sometimes make me uncomfortable because a lot of times I feel like they're just inviting me because I'm Black. We don't have anything in common. We don't like each other. We don't like, and they're like, oh, she's a Black girl. Let me go show her that I'm not racist. And I'm like, I don't care.
Well, we're being told to do this. Yes. I mean, now they have all of these DEI courses in corporate America, and they tell you, they say, make sure you check every box. If you have a project, make sure you're asking the trans person, the gay person, all these Black persons, they're introducing this. And it's not even about ideas, which is the most important aspect of a project, or
it's not about quality anymore. Right. It's not about like moving things forward. Like
Yes.
that's how societies collapse.
Yeah,
You're
it
right.
makes no sense. It makes no sense. And speaking of societies and institutionalized racism, we moved to Harvard. Uh yeah, I mean, this we've seen these congressional hearings all over the news. And so now we're at Harvard. Take a look at this. This is I believe this week.
Michelle Wu
Claudine
is
Gray.
defending her decision to host
Oh,
a
what?
holiday party for elected officials of color. This
Mm.
Okay.
Conduct at Harvard?
This girl is
We
boss.
embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies against bullying, harassment,
Does that speech not cross that barrier? Does that speech not call for the genocide of Jews and the elimination of Israel?
According to the Harvard Crimson, the university's student newspaper, Harvard President Claudine Gay will stay in her role following a wave of backlash from last week's congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism. Members of Harvard University's faculty sent a letter to the Harvard Corporation, the university's governing body, urging the university not to oust the president in an hours-long meeting. The Harvard Corporation said in a statement, quote, "Our extensive deliberations affirm our confidence that President Gay is the right leader to help our community heal and to address the very serious societal issues we are facing."
All right. So, in other words, we need a black woman. We need a black woman.
She's not going to be fired. Yeah.
No, she's not going to be fired because she's black. I mean, you said it right. Societal issues we are facing. We know the code. We know the code. And you know, again, in case you guys have not been following this story, you know, this is this Harvard president. She's come out and she basically is not standing up against these anti-Semitic remarks.
No. So I watched the hearings, and you know the three college presidents, and I forget the other lady who was a researcher, but one of them was fired or she resigned.
University of UPenn,
right?
Oh,
UPenn.
she was fired.
Yeah, and the other two are still there. So the other two are still in their positions. But what's interesting when I watched it, and they were being challenged very well. At least Stefanik did an excellent job with her questions and questioning them. They don't get it. They don't get it, or they willingly ignore even their own, compulsory, whatever, thinking that they want to force conformity. So they didn't mention one of the professors that was fired and he's rehired was Roland Fryer, because his ideology didn't match theirs. And he was a black guy doing some excellent research. He's rehired, but they basically demoralized this man in his research because he didn't find the right findings that they wanted with regarding police brutality against black people. Harvard, University of Penn, MIT, all of these, Princeton's, even Stanford, these Ivy Leagues, this is where these racist ideas have generated and where they fickle down into the mainstream. Because at one time we were getting over, if you will, all this racial identity. And who brought it back up? From the academics, because we are so in awe of all these people with titles and experts, and we think they are, they know everything and they are all, but they are ruining our society.
Yeah, and the jig is up. I mean, these people are not smart, and they've allowed themselves to be manipulated by the bottom half of their school. Like Thomas Sowell and Walter Williams was actually talking about when they were professors and the affirmative action. Like let's just go ahead and throw it out there. You get some people who would do really, really well at a lower class school, but you put them in a Harvard where you're supposed to have thinking, and they end up at the bottom, and they think that they're at the bottom because they're of their color, but no, you're at the bottom because somebody put you there and
you didn't need to be there.
And so now those people are now feeling guilty, and then putting them in positions of leadership, telling them that they're special because of the color of their skin and the ideas you bring, and you don't have to be smart anymore. Unfortunately, they have run over the educational system. They've destroyed these institutions, and that's kind of what gender ideology and race ideology.
They check all the boxes. They check all the boxes.
It destroys.
I mean, yeah, this lady, Claudine Gay,
Yeah.
she looks like a face of Marxism. Like, she just looks it. And the way, I mean, she's covering for hate speech.
Right.
Like, she literally said, it's okay if there's hate speech.
Right.
And as long as it, and what was it? They said they have to start, like, literally.
It doesn't turn into conduct. It doesn't turn into action.
So we have to wait for them to start attacking. Like, we can't stop hate speech, basically, she's saying. But if it was coming from
the other direction,
they would stop it right away. So
and they have
exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you take a look at an excerpt from the Harvard's mandatory Title VII training session, according to Washington Examiner, for undergraduate students contains a power and control wheel that helps students identify harmful conduct. So attitudes that, and I quote, contribute to an environment that perpetuates violence, end quote, include sizeism and fat phobia, cis heterosexism, racism, transphobia, ageism, ableism. So the training presents scenarios, one of which involves Andre, who repeatedly uses the wrong pronouns and comments on Logan's outfits, hair, and nail polish, and makes remarks about Logan's gender identity, which contribute to a climate of disrespect and may also violate Harvard's policies. So if you say a man is a man, you may be violating Harvard's policies. But if you say, Jews need to be murdered, you're okay. You can stay on campus.
What she said was legally and true from the First Amendment. You can say stuff that upsets other people. The problem is that it goes against Harvard's policy, because in America, you have no right to quote unquote not be offended by something that someone says. You can say whatever, and somebody can be offended and somebody might like it. We have that right as the First Amendment. So that's not the problem. When Harvard starts removing or suspending other people that they have historically, and not just Harvard, other universities, because it goes against their stated policy, but now they're not enforcing it. So that is the main problem. And the bigger problem, at least from my perspective, is that these schools that have billion-dollar endowments get federal, your money, my money, all of our money, federal funds. Why? They don't need it, number one, and they shouldn't be getting it because they're private institutions. Let them fund their own foolishness.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. The problem is the bias. I mean, you could say that I stand on that. Now, I don't have to like it. I don't have to hire you. I don't have to give you my money. I don't have to give you a job. I don't have to have you around me. But I do believe that you have the right in this country to say whatever you want to say. But the problem is the bias. And I'm telling you, every white person, I release you right now to say nigga, 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 nigga. Just say it, because these people are playing games. Just say it. I release you. Tell them come see me. Say Crystal said I can say nigga, 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 nigga.
Yeah, I mean, and like you mentioned, they are being governed by the policies within Harvard, but it's not being evenly put out. It's not being evenly put out. And so they're picking and choosing. If you go against their woke, crazy agenda, you can get kicked out, but you can't get kicked out for being anti-Semitic.
It's the same double standard that we were just talking about. It's the same exact thing. It's okay for them to be racist, to be hateful, to call for genocide. But if we say anything, like you were saying about, like, if we
what was
say,
I saying, Yana? What I say? What I say, Yana? What I say?
Trans women are not women. We can't even say that.
And so
or get that homosexuality is a disease. I can't say that. I believe it's a real issue, and I don't care what anybody says.
How many conservatives have needed thousands of dollars worth of security just to go give a speech on these campuses?
Right, right. And someone just posted, talks about not only is this woman supporting anti-Semitic comments and going against the Harvard policy, but she's also a plagiarist.
Plagiarist.
She's a plagiarist. In multiple, she's plagiarized our girl
Carol Swain,
right? Carol Swain, other people. She's plagiarized. They've come out and said it's blatant plagesism.
Well, she's probably affirmative action person.
Yeah,
like,
I saw something posted yesterday that she's going to be. She resubmitted some things to be re-edited or something like that.
Yeah, but
I mean, she doesn't look. I don't think she earned. Like, she probably was placed in her position. She didn't
of
earn
course.
her education.
Are not smart.
Notice that they all were women.
Right.
And then and it's so funny. They're all gay. They all identify by who they sleeping with. It's just so weird. Like, nobody cares that you're gay. Nobody cares that you're straight. Sis, go get a life. And my thing, like I said, is that why are they being allowed? They're getting paid. I'm sure she's getting bank. She's getting
of course
bank. And we're just kind of just acting like it's okay.
But we need to acknowledge.
When I think about, but how about? I'm just thinking these institutions, this higher level educational institution, where are we supposed to people who have children, like if they are really bright and they want to go to a high level institution, where are they supposed to go at this point?
Hillsdale.
Yeah.
Hillsdale. Yeah. I mean, that's the only one.
That's the only
college.
But you know what? Bright people will succeed and become successful anywhere. You don't necessarily need these Ivy League environments, for them to succeed. But another thing we need to point out is, these Ivy League colleges are pushing this anti-Semitism. They are pushing this woke education and environment, but they're being supported by the Democrat left. They are this week on The View, Sunny Holston was adamantly in support of this president, of all of these presidents, and said there's nothing wrong with their remarks. Her, along with many Democrats, have been pushing and supporting them throughout all of this. And we've said on the show in the past, the Jewish community overwhelmingly votes Democrat. I hope this has opened some eyes and hearts and minds. You are voting for your demise. These people believe in the genocide of your community. Why would you continue to vote for them?
Well, thankfully, some of them are awakening because they are removing or stopping their funding. Right? I want federal funds to stop.
Right.
Why should we be supporting them? They have plenty of money to support and sustain themselves.
I wonder. So this is where I've kind of been like thinking about this thing, because I mean, Jews like make up 60% of the wealth in the world. I mean, like I wonder if they just like are laughing, like it's so beneath them, like the rich Jews are just like, let them talk, because I know who I am. I don't know why they are not acting or acting on it, or they still choose to vote Democrat. I don't know, but part of me wants to believe that we're the idiots, we're the brokies down here, while they're just taking it.
I don't know. Well, they tend to. It's like a lot of Black people. They keep voting, like KJ said. They're voting against their own interests.
They're not, but they're not though. That's
what
they
are. Yes, they are.
You can't.
Yes, they do.
We will talk about this a little later, but
I mean, I don't
care how much money you have. If you have a group of people who want to see you dead, you and your next generation after generation, I don't care how much money you have. That's a major issue. That's a major problem.
But I don't know.
Eyes are opening up right now. Like, speaking about Jewish people, I think people, a lot of them, I'm hoping, and that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I'm seeing that their eyes are being opened up on what the Democrat Party, because I'm seeing people commenting on the internet saying, "Oh, I'm watching Fox News for the first time in my life." Like,
because Fox News is the only one that would cover the Hamas.
I don't know. We keep saying that like this subset of people just didn't know, and I just
no. What it is that just like we as Americans in general, just like we've gotten comfortable and taking things for granted, so do the Jews. And in every generation, I don't know how the Jews say it, but in every generation, the Jews need a wake up call, and this happens to be the one for them right now.
Yeah, and not only that, but I don't know. I think as conservatives, we don't realize how deep this propaganda runs. You know, the left has control of the media, of the culture, of education. And so they have used this to perpetuate this idea that Trump, Republicans, MAGA, ultra Republicans are to be feared. This is what they're using in this whole
They always use that white supremacy.
And they're using this, and it's actually working. It is working. And I hope it's not working because, it looks like Trump is going to be the nominee. But the amount of fear that they have baked into this idea that Trump is an evil person, MAGA Republicans are evil. We want to see the death of this country. We want to overturn democracy, all this type of stuff. It runs deep.
To answer your question, like what people are thinking, I think people did not realize how much anti-Semitism there is on the left. I think when a Jewish person hears that, oh, we're for equality, we're for everyone, we're for everyone's rights, they assume, oh, it's for our rights too. And they don't realize that actually there's so much anti-Semitism on the left. Right. And when they say, oh, Trump is like Hitler, well, everybody knows, Hitler was killing Jews. So, let's be afraid of that side. So that's what happened in the Soviet Union. How Soviet Union actually came to be is because a lot of Russian Jews were turning into Marxism, because there was they were like this. They were spearheading Marxist revolution in Russia, the Jewish population, because they were intellectuals. They addressed it. There was a lot of anti-Semitism in Russia prior to the revolution. And when these people learned about Marxism, many of them were not religious already. So these Jewish people were not religious, like they were not practicing. And so they felt that if we eliminated religion altogether, that it will solve a problem of anti-Semitism or attacks based on religion. If we made everybody equal, we all just one people with there's no possessions and whatever, so that it will solve the problem. And in fact, like 10 years or 15 years into the Soviet Union, Stalin went specifically after many of the Jews, because they were the most critical, because they realized, oh, this is not working, there's something wrong. And so then they were slaughtered by the Marxists.
Okay, Jay, to your question about what you were saying, how this propaganda is so deep, I want to attempt to answer. One of the things that I think Dennis Prager has said this: the natural state. People think humans are naturally courageous. No, we know what people want at the core. They want to be secure. So if I can see how Jews, they can go to these ideologies, or they can be inundated with them, and because they think that the left is safer. Like you said, KJ, they make the right look to be the Hitlers, or look like we're the boogeymen, but they're actually going to the side that wants to destroy them. Marx was born to Jewish parents. Freud was a Jew, born to Jewish people. Wow. Jan is exactly right. A lot of the early prominent Marxists, if you will, were of Jewish ancestry. Wow. So they think these ideologies are going to provide them safety and security.
Yeah, and you even see it, like, even in the conflict that's over there, like the the Jews are going against Benjamin Netanyahu, like, because he's a conservative. I believe that these people hate God, and so if you're a Jew, it's kind of, I guess I don't quite understand why you would side with people who are they hate God.
Well,
Like,
I think they don't. I mean, they either. I don't know what it exactly, but it could be maybe dismissing God as being all powerful. That now people are kind of thinking that, well, it's they don't realize the power of God. I think that's what they have forgotten. I think that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, they want security. What did I'm sorry, I keep saying Egyptians. What did the Hebrews say when they first got out of Egypt? Take me back to Pharaoh, at least we could eat.
Yep.
And they were free. They were free.
Yep.
They didn't want the freedom. They wanted security. They wanted the food.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we will continue to follow this story. I really hope this woman is fired. It looks like she's not going to be. She does have a lot of support in
Black women.
Yeah.
Protect Black women.
Right.
Well, I don't know if the other one, the MIT woman, I don't know if she resigned or was fired yet either. So
the whole protect Black women, movement.
That's right. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's sad. But we're moving right along to the border crisis. Talking about protecting people. We are unprotected right now. National Review reports Customs and Border Patrol recently issued a memo on Wednesday warning agents to be on alert for illegal immigrants carrying explosives after 10 improvised explosive devices, IEDs, were found near the border. Agents were advised to exercise extreme caution and should report any possible armed subjects approaching the border with possible explosive devices. In a memo first obtained by Fox Business. My God, guys. So they found IEDs on the border. We have been invaded by men, mostly men, coming into this country, into cities across this country. And now we found explosive. Okay. Shelly, I want to start with you. I mean, do you think we're going to have another 9/11?
I think there are plenty of sleepers here already. And let me say this, the IEDs that they found at the border, those are just the ones that they couldn't carry. There are plenty already here.
Or the ones they wanted them to find.
Oh, right. There's plenty already here within all the states or whatever. So yeah, by young men, relatively healthy young men coming from the Middle East, or maybe even, a little bit further, but mostly from the Middle East. And they're making it, there are sleepers here and they are preparing. How the hell are they gonna say if you spot somebody coming across the border with IEDs? Are you serious? I mean, what are we supposed to do? See them? No, they're sleepers. They know exactly what they're doing. And they, like you said, they found what they couldn't carry and they found what they left behind. They're warning us.
Yeah, for sure. I think that they are just kind of like teasing us. It ain't gonna be no IED at the border that somebody left. Like Shelly, I mean, maybe they left it or whatever. Like, we're not even prepared for what we're gonna see, because they know they gotta come. Like that, like when they hit other places, look how they hit other places. When they hit the United States of America, our towers went down. Like, they are gonna hit us so hard, but they got us like looking in these little pockets, got us looking at the little Nicaraguan coming across the border. Nah, baby, they got something good for us, and we need to stay focused and get our focused on this election, get a strong man in the White House, because regardless of what happens now, Joe Biden is unfit. He's
unfit and he's bought and paid for.
Yeah, and I feel really like people who live by the border, like I can't even imagine.
Speaking of that, take a look at this before you go. I want to come to you next, Yana, but look at talking about the border. Take a look at what's going on here.
2 Chicago suburbs rejected busloads of immigrants that arrived from El Paso, Texas over the past week. This as the city and Illinois as a whole continue to face an influx of illegal immigrants from the southern border. Several buses arrived at the metro stations near O'Hare International Airport's remote parking area, according to the Chicago Tribune. Mayor Brad Stevens says Rosemont police allowed the immigrants to get off the bus if there was someone picking them up, but officers threatened to impound the bus and arrest the driver for endangering the passengers if he let them out. The Rosemont Village Board planned to consider an ordinance to support the officers' claims. The town.
So here we have it again. I mean, these
we're
places
not going to have
overlook-
Americans left, like literally, because I mean, we have a problem of people who are born here who do not respect America anymore, who do not have love for this country. And now we have people who are coming in from other countries, not respecting the laws here and not caring about this country or people here at all. They're just here to use this country as much as they can to get as much as they want. And a lot of them will probably even go back at some point. They'll make money here and they will, just send it all over there. And they don't care. My dad used to live in New Jersey in this area where there were a lot of immigrants, and I bet a lot of them were illegal, and it was trashed. Like the parks, the parking lots, the shopping centers, there was trash, there were bottles everywhere. Like, beer bottles, they didn't care. These people do not care about this country.
Well, I mean, it's not even that they don't care about this country, in my opinion. I hear what you're saying, but whoever thought that it was a good idea to bring a bunch of uneducated, low-skilled people, like we don't already have enough of our own. And by the way, make sure that they don't speak the language. Whoever thought that was a good idea.
And they're not going to speak the language.
Same people who thought, exactly. I guess it's the same people who thought that men can get pregnant and they can have menstrual cycles. Like, why are we even surprised that it's Lord of the Flies in this place and that's why they feared President 45. He did not play these kind of games with these people.
Yeah. And that brings us to our final topic of the night, Tucker Carlson. Tucker had on, he's come
Alex
out.
Jones.
Right, he had on Alex Jones this last week. And you guys know, I mean, I've been kind of vocal. I'm not an Alex Jones fan. I've never been an Alex Jones fan, but I watched the full show, and this man was dropping facts.
Yes, I've never been a fan, but I am now.
He's been saying these things for years.
I know, now I'm listening. Yeah. I've never been a fan, but I am now.
Yeah, he's been saying these things for years.
Take a look at this clip where he kind of lays it all out, man.
Happening in the media, because they were on the news saying, life's about to change in America. And I was reading what the RAND Corporation was saying and what the Pentagon was putting out. I read the PNAC document from a year before, Rebuilding America's Defenses, that Dick Cheney had helped write. And it said we need a Pearl Harbor event on the American homeland to be able to bring in this police state and reset New World Order takeovers, a post-industrial world, cut off the resources, 90% forced depopulation, breaking civilization by design, massive wars, famine. They've already cut off a third of the fertilizer in the last year worldwide. It's estimated that'll kill a couple 100 million people. The lockdowns worldwide, not the virus, the UN admits killed 80-something million extra people in the last 3.5 years. And so when the first world collapses, the third world dies. And then what's left of them floods us. And so the earth is being put into a countdown collapse right now. And so I'm like the fisherman when the tidal wave comes in, and I'm like, oh my God, my wife and children are about to die. And so I'm not really worried about me because I'm a man. I did this. I knew it was coming. I've been proven right. And I'm not happy I was proven right. I wish we could have gotten ahead of this and stopped it. Yeah, we have a lot of credibility now that people see that we were right. So maybe we can stop the next phase of it. But the globalists have gone from testing phase, beta test phase, into full operational now. And they say, read their writings, we are going to have a post-industrial world by 2030. We will have no personal cars by 2030. You will be eating bugs by 2030. And we will start the depopulation of 90% of the people by 2045. That is the official WF, official UN, official Club of Rome plan.
What do you mean the depopulation?
Yeah.
I'm challenging everyone. If you have not watched this video, this interview, watch it.
It's good.
Watch it. Not only he lays it out, but when you I had to watch it like 3 times. When you actually look at what is going on,
it's happening.
That makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah.
Get your bunker, get your gas-powered vehicle, get your guns, and get ready. I am not playing. This is serious.
Yeah. I try. I hear what you guys are saying. I try not to live in fear because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. And I think a lot of times you will be going crazy trying to analyze how evil these people are. But what he did say I thought was really important. He was like, let them know that you know what they're trying to do. And that's where I feel like we got quiet. We're scared and they're intimidating you. Anytime you say something, they're putting you, they're taking your jobs away. They're doing all this because they want you to shut the F up. And I encourage everyone to just do what Alex said. Like, tell them, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, I watched it too. And again, he's been saying a lot of this and more for years. And what I found interesting is that we were talking about the academics before. Now you have the people like, quote unquote, like Alex Jones's types. They are castigated, they're censored. They people say that he's dumb and know what he's talking about, but damn near everything that he has said has come true or it's taking place now. Whereas these academics are pushing stuff that is really, again, he's talking about it and they're actually doing it, but they want to gaslight and make you think that you're not seeing and believing and hearing what is actually going on. It has come to the point now that I believe that about 95% of quote unquote conspiracy theories, I believe that they're true until proven otherwise, instead of the other way around.
Yeah, and they're gonna throw this word conspiracy theorist like it's some kind of insult. But actually, I've read somewhere that a person who is considered a conspiracy theorist is actually more mentally sound because that person is open to other ideas. That person is open. So we have the right to look at anything, read anything, listen to anyone, and make our own conclusions without this block in front of us that the others will have who say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, I can't even look at it. No, like you have to be able to look and analyze and find out for yourself.
But even them calling it a conspiracy theory is just manipulation. Because one of the things that was the takeaway for me in that interview is he said they are mad because I read what they write. And they are putting it in front of us. But I know for us brown skins, they say if you want to hide anything for a black man,
read it, put it in
a book.
I knew y'all could finish it. Put it in a book. And so now it's not even black men, it's Americans. Our minds are so controlled with the media and the news and TikTok, and that is what they're dumbing down the American mind to the point where all we can think about is our little box that we're in, and all of this is happening in front of us, and our children will pay the price.
I have to acknowledge J.H. Marvelous. Thank you so much, Chatter. He says, keep speaking truth to power, ladies. Much love. Thank you.
Wow, we love you too. Thank you.
Yes. And one thing that stuck out to me in the interview was something that I think a lot of conservatives need to know, because a lot of conservatives live in the rural areas, in the suburbs, on the outskirts. And he talked to that. We cannot abandon the cities.
Yes.
He talked about this is the leftist idea. They want us to abandon the cities. And believe it or not, we abandon control, because a lot of the power, the governmental power, a lot of the infrastructure comes out of the cities.
Exactly.
What has happened is we've abandoned those. We've went to our bunkers within the rural areas on the outskirts thinking we're safe. No. In the cities, what they're doing, they're saying, oh, these people in the rural areas, they own their own businesses. They're the problem. They're why we don't have any money. And what are they going to do? They're
come
slowly
dig you out,
getting these people together, and they're going to go out to these rural areas and come and get them.
Right.
Yes,
And that's exactly what happened. I mean, I bring up Marxism all the time.
Talk about
That's
it.
exactly what happened in Russia. The intellectuals in the cities, they conspired against the rich farmers, the rich owners in the country, and they went after them, and they took their possessions.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. They shot them.
That's what he
people
talks
who
about.
did not want to give up
Killing fields with Pol Pot. The
and
farmers.
he also mentions that he talks about the idea, we wonder why does it seem like Bidenomics is not working? It's crushing small business.
They're telling you
they've crushed the pandemic. What did they do? The lockdowns. They crushed small. They're doing this purposely.
On purpose.
They do not want us to have small business. They don't want us to be self-sufficient. They're trying to crush business owners so then we can become beholden to the government and dependent on them. Yes.
And that's what Alex Jones was saying that was so good. And I had never thought about that. He said the reason why, he said they cannot stop U.S. citizens because of the ownership. So now they're making it harder and harder for you to own anything. They're crushing and making it impossible. So you're at their mercy.
Right.
And after that,
that's why. And when in the city, talking about taking ownership back, or not letting them run it. Every chance I get when I'm driving, I run over one of those damn bike lanes, those poles. I knock them down every chance I get.
Well, yeah, but that's all part of it. We've talked about it on this show, the bike lanes, the idea of renter nation. They want everyone to rent. This idea that even like the smallest thing about doctors. Now you can't even find a doctor to go to. Now they want all this virtual medicine. They're trying to keep us in our homes. They don't want you to go out and enjoy. They don't want you to be able to buy. They don't want you to be able to own your own business. All this is leading towards that whole idea he mentioned, the one world government, smaller communities, less children, and bring in these illegal immigrants. They're going to be made to feed off and milk off.
Defund the police in the city so that the crime can run amok. Yeah,
exactly. So the stuff he's saying, it's not conspiracy. They're doing it.
Exactly, we can see it.
Gas stoves.
Yes,
trying to outlaw gas vehicles. Why do you think they're doing that? So they can track us electronically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so sad. And like I said, we've been bullied, and you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm telling you, we got to get to a point where it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a racist. I'm a conspiracy
I've said before,
I'm crazy.
You can call me every ism you want. I don't care. Call me every ism, or what is it? Every phobia.
I don't care anymore.
I don't care.
I literally have just gotten such to the point where it's like, okay, all right, whatever.
Right. And I'll just finish it up with this. I thought another point that he made that was very, very important is the idea of chaos. Anything, we all know, we Bible believers know, chaos is not of God.
Never.
And this is what we are seeing on the left: demolish this police, open up the prisons. They want to drug all of us on drugs. Make cannabis. Right. They are trying to create chaos so they can have a meltdown with the racial division.
And they come in
push against it. We cannot be racially divided. That is a trick of the enemy. Let me tell you guys something. Heaven is not racially divided. Nowhere in the Bible where it says that you can't get to heaven if you're black or white, or it doesn't say, oh, the God's not going to say when you come into it says, oh, you're an oppressor, so you're not going to make it to heaven. You're white, you're a victim. It doesn't say it. It's a figment of our imagination, and we are being used, and we need to push against it.
Yeah, but I know God is not the author of confusion, but I would like to say God will operate. I've heard people say God doesn't operate in confusion. Yes, he is, because he's God. And I believe that if we as conservatives, he even said, if my people who are called by my name, he didn't say if black people are called by my name or white people, like we have to stand on truth. We have to be courageous enough, as we've been talking about, to say, hey, cut it out. We don't agree with what you're saying. And when that happens, I think that that's where the awakening is gonna like that's gonna be true revolution. I don't believe that it's on its way because it just seems so dark. It's hard to be optimistic, but we have the formula to fix this. We just don't have the courage.
Right.
I mean, we're doing it. I think, that's great that we're in the city basically and we're doing this. I think it's, we're the courageous ones. And I hope that
we need
more
more.
people,
We need more.
yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
We need more people, like Crystal was saying, to just speak up. Like people are so afraid. They're
That's what's
afraid
missing, the courage.
to lose their jobs or their friends. They're like literally afraid to lose their friends. Like really?
They're not your friends. A PSA, they're not your friends. They hate your children. Anybody who hates my children and hates the future of this country is not my friend. Period.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, and part of speaking out, part of, as we say on the show, be aware and prepare. That's always our agenda. That's always our message. We're truth seekers, and we want to make you aware so that you can prepare. It's not a matter of if this happens, it's just when. It's coming.
It's happening now.
Yeah, it is. But it's coming. It's coming. Be prepared. So this part of that is sharing our broadcast. If you love what you've seen here tonight, this is what we do. Go back and check out our channel. Go through some of our older videos. We've been talking about this, for quite some time. And we are live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. Subscribe, share this broadcast in a DM on your timeline. Please repost this. We certainly appreciate it. And we are a movement. Become part of the movement. Do not be afraid to speak up. Do not let them censor you. Do not let them cancel you. We have to continue to speak up and speak out against it. If it's not just for you, it's for your children and the generations to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So that brings us to the end of the show. Again, we are an independent media, and each time you subscribe, each time you share this broadcast, it helps to make our voice that much stronger. We are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. Again, please check us out on our website at www.popandpolitics.com. www.popandpoliticslive.com. Check us out there. Put in your email. We don't send a lot of emails, very little actually, but it's good to just stay in connection with like minds, like-minded people, and that's always good. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you can't watch us on YouTube, you can also listen to us on your drive while you're in the shower, cooking dinner. You can listen to us.
We do read your comments.
Yes.
And we respond.
We do read the comments. So even if we don't get to your comments through our live broadcast, we do go back and we read them.
Sometimes we respond to some of them.
Yeah, yep, we certainly do. And we definitely respond to emails. So definitely check us out on our website. You can put your email in there and send us something. We're going to start using our mailbag more often in the new year. So we will see you guys shortly. We'll see you next week. Until then, count your blessings.
Merry Christmas.
And live a life.
Week after.
We'll see them.